All right, beautiful people, welcome back to the Virtus Performance Podcast. We're at season 4, which we love. I looked at some stats the other day, and we've done like over 200 episodes over the last 8 years or whenever I started the first one.
Wow.
Pretty hectic.
How long ago?
Like 80,000 downloads.
Wow.
Yeah, just
You're like famous.
massaging like ear holes for almost a decade. Put that on a t-shirt.
No, that's okay.
So, season 4, episode 2, we just dealt with the hurricane that is Dak Dak, and now we have her partner in crime, Dak Dak. What's going on?
Shout out Dak Dak. You're my inspo.
Queen.
Yeah, actually.
Dakota Watson.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. What do you know?
I hate that question. I hate when you ask me that question.
Did you have a good sleep last night?
Yeah, I actually did, because Billy's concert started at 8.
What?
Instead
Billy
of
who?
9. Eilish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she started at 8 instead, so she finished at 10, so we were driving away at like 10:30.
That's actually a vibe.
No, it actually is nice. Normally I don't get home until like 12:30.
I'm more of an afternoon concert guy these days.
Same, especially because like normally I would come here at like 6 o'clock and like train or something, but I had to sleep in until 8 to get my 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, well, it was nice, but then like my whole day's gone because I got to go to sleep at 9
whole
tonight.
day's gone.
It is. My whole day is just
Shit, ruined.
Yeah.
Give us a quick synopsis of the show. How was it?
It was really good.
Yeah.
We were like 2 seats. We were in the second row on the side, and her stage was in the middle. She had like a B stage. Can you envision what
What does the B stand for?
It's the shape of the stage.
I was like
Stand for
as in the animal, a bee, or?
No, as in the letter.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So it's
Gotcha.
like kind of more like an 8, to be honest.
Okay.
Than a B, because
Yeah.
I guess a B would be rounded.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like an 8. So we were like on the side, in the middle.
So it was a vibe.
Yeah, it was a vibe. I looked at like halfway through the concert. I looked at my friend Jess, and she was crying.
Aww.
I looked at her. I was like, oh my god.
Emotional.
Deep breaths, Queen.
Favourite song?
Favorite song? That
of
she
the night?
performed yesterday. Oh my goodness, that is a great question.
Thanks. I like it when you say I ask a question.
Right, there's quite a few that were really good.
If you're listening at home and just pondering on whether we'll actually talk about anything real,
Yeah.
just think about your favourite Billy song.
Yeah, think about your favourite Billy song. My favourite Billy song is either Bury a Friend, which was good when she performed it, or Chihiro or Wildflower. All of those were good. My favourite performance was probably the extended version of L'Amour, which was over now, and that slayed. That 8. Do you know that song?
Was it extended because you get more of it? How much do you hate that?
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
All right, let's get talking to the real stuff. I don't know it, but you can show me later.
Yeah, okay.
First question for you, which we love. What gets you out of bed in the morning? You should have seen the face she gave me when I said this is going to be my opening question.
And then you told me not to say my alarm. What gets me out of bed in the morning?
Yeah. Why do you do what you do?
Here?
In
or
general?
in general? I just want to have fun and be happy. That's all I want.
Wholesome.
Yeah.
Wholesome. Have you always that's been the thing? I want to be fun and have happy?
Yep.
Flip those.
Essentially.
Essentially.
I want to have fun and wait.
Because I think you perpetuate that in this place.
Yeah. I'd hope so.
Is that intentional? Is that like, do you wake up in the morning and go, all right, I've got to be fun and happy today? Or is it just something that you're naturally more
I think it depends
energetic?
on the day.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think some days I'm like,
Because you get hangry sometimes, but apart from that, there's pretty good vibes the majority of the time.
It's true. I have had like, maybe like, from like the last year of me being here, I've had like 3 or 4 shifts where like I've come into the shift like with super low energy. And I'm like, okay, I've got to try and like hype myself up right now. But other than that, I feel like it comes pretty naturally. But
do you just put L'Amour on in the car on the way here and it just gets you up and about?
yeah, or like at the moment, Tate McRae's album. Naturally, that one gets me more up and back. L'Amour, like the start of it's pretty slow.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll get the vibe when I play it to you. But
Yeah. So music's a big part of Dak's hype train.
yeah, but just the pop girlies. Well, Billy's not.
Billy's a pop
She's
girly.
not
Shut
pop
up.
girly. Hey, she's away.
More like alternative or what?
I actually don't know.
Okay. Maybe we need to figure out where on the spectrum
We
she
need like
lies.
a scale.
Yeah. Back into you.
Yeah.
Why? So you've been coaching here almost a year.
Yeah.
You've been here a little over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
How's it been?
I've really enjoyed it.
Oh,
It's probably like,
cute.
I'm not trying to hype you up or anything,
Go on, pump me
but
up.
it's probably like, if I was going to describe it as something, probably like the best thing ever. No, but actually, I kind of rave about it to everyone.
Because you had, so for those playing at home, Dak did the internship where we kicked off, what, Jan or Feb last
It
year?
started at the end of Jan. I think it was
End
like
of
last
Jan,
week of
yeah.
Jan.
So end of Feb 2024, start of Feb, sorry, I'm clearly not listening, and had absolutely no intention of getting a job here, wasn't on the cards, wasn't on, like,
To be fair, didn't know I could.
didn't know you could?
No, I feel
Why
like
wouldn't you be able to?
because I wasn't finished my degree.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's
Yeah,
what was
fair.
throwing me. I was
Yeah.
like,
After.
still got a year left,
Yeah.
so I didn't realise.
And then we were chatting as a team and we were talking about needing a new coach and I was like, I'm hiring Dak. What do you think?
So.
And everyone's like, who? No, I'm kidding. Everyone was super about it. But, like, yours was probably the easiest hire I've ever had.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's actually nice. Sometimes I'm like, because I think when we went to Common Folk and you kept asking me like what I want to do after the internship,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know, like the same thing I always do.
Why do you keep
I was
asking
just
me-
like,
why do you keep asking
so
this question?
oblivious.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, like what are you talking about? And then you were like, there's a job for you at the end of the internship, and I was like, in my head,
If
did
you
not
want
say
it.
this to you. Yeah, if I want it, and I was like, why? I was like,
As in, why
like,
would I
why
want you?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think that we saw that in you?
I feel like at the start it was definitely like, I was like, I don't want to say a personality hire, but like it was more like a community thing at the time. Because I hadn't really, I feel like at that point I hadn't really done any, like that much coaching.
No. So like the things, like I hire personality first, right? Like, because we need at Virtus, we need people who can connect with our members and be in their corner and support them and love them and give them a kick up the arse when they need and give them a cuddle when they need and all of that kind of stuff. The coaching stuff is like technical skills. Most of it is technical skills. So how have you gone or how have you found like coming into an environment like this where there's been elements of self-doubt where you're like, I don't know enough. It's like I'm talking to you.
Real.
Or like I'm not experienced coaching enough, right? Like, so how have you gone working on overcoming that over the last 10, 11 months of you being a coach?
I don't know, I feel like it's hard because there was not really an external reason why I should have felt that way. Like no one was giving me any indication that they didn't think I belonged here.
Suffer more in our imagination than reality.
Yeah, and it's like, but there's like a reasonable part of me. I'd say like 80% of me is reasonable and 20% of me is crazy. And like the reasonable part of me is like, stop being so annoying.
Yeah.
Like you obviously belong here, and then the other part of me is like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot.
So if anyone doesn't think Dak belongs here, just shoot her a text and let her know.
Just send me a message and I'll just like spiral and you probably won't see me for a while. Sorry, my phone.
Business calls?
Yeah, just Greg sending me a sleigh emoji, like a sleigh.
Yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, there was like no reason, but then inside I'm just like, stop being so annoying. Yeah. And the rest of me is like, but like we've got imposter syndrome over here.
Yeah. How did you work through that? Because I think it's a super cool lesson. Because I would imagine that everyone who's interacted with you over the last 12 months would be like, Dak's wonderful. Dak's great. Dak knows what she's doing. Switched on. She coaches. She gives a shit. Yeah. Yeah. So how did you work through those doubts? Because everyone goes through imposter syndrome. I think. I haven't felt it for a little while, but I think
you're old.
I'm kidding. But I think everyone goes through it. So like, how did you work through that?
I don't like admitting you're right about things, so I just need you to take this grain of salt.
I'll forget it.
Yeah, thank you. Just like coaching often, and then also remembering when like someone says to me, like, "Thank you for that. You did a good job," and then I'll feel better. But then even then, I still like I haven't fully overcome it. Like I kind of go through like waves. Like sometimes I'm like, "Wow, I am the best ever." And then other days I'm like, oh no, not good. But it's like less frequent now.
Yeah, but you've got a year's worth of proof that
true.
you can do it. So I think
it's true.
Like part of it, from my perspective, part of that growth has been you just doing reps and seeing that you can actually make a difference. Yeah, and not going, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, and then like obviously
I had my Dak our content, by the way. I'm pretty sure, like, it's like talking to
It
two of them.
does not sound the same at all.
My name's Dakota.
That's crazy. Back to what I was going to say, like watching you and Tyler and Jackie and also Renee when she was here.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll like if Tyler or you around, you'll say something to someone, I'll be like, I'm taking that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that next time.
But this is coaching, right? It's just like you've got a heap of life experience that we all don't have. You don't have a lot of coaching experience yet, and we've got a year of it now. But like, it's just coaching is just helping people get from where they are to where they want to be. So all you need to do is layer on all of that experience to create your persona or principles as a coach.
Yeah.
Could you articulate? I should have told you to think about this beforehand. Could you articulate your who I am as a coach, who Dakota is as a coach, what your principles are now that you're a year in?
I actually did think about this beforehand because I knew you were going to ask me
good.
this, but I still don't have like a way to articulate it right now.
Yeah.
I only just went over values with Gemma, so I only just figured out
We're working on it.
how to word values. So I couldn't articulate it at the moment. Like I know that there's.
If someone asks you what type of coach you are, like what would you say? Doesn't have to be polished. Just give us the elevator pitch.
I would say that I care more about how the exercise makes the person feel.
Cute.
Rather than the actual performance of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, good.
I think that's all I've got.
I like it. What about outside of like the sets and the reps?
What do you mean?
So like what do you think is important from a coaching sense that has nothing to do with how someone does an RDL or how someone does a broad jump? Because you express this in different ways throughout your roles here at Virtus. Because I don't think you don't need to know and be able to articulate it because you live it.
Mm-hmm. Can you ask?
You're a very you're a very person first coach. You're not you're not athlete first. You're not like what can you do for? You're like person first. So you're like, I feel as though you care way more about the person as an individual rather than like what they're capable of as an athlete or
Well, I guess I started strength training because I wanted to go back to netball. Yeah. So it was like I did it so I could do other stuff that I wanted to do. So it's never been about...
So it was a means to an end.
Yeah, it's never been about like being the best at strength training or being the best at this. It's always just about being able to do the things I wanted to do outside of it.
Yeah, awesome. Were you, like, talk me through your process into, for that, first of all, but second of all, like, school, what were you going to do when you grew up? Into exercise science, like what was the process like for you to get from, say, 10-year-old Dacky?
Yeah, 10-year-old Dacky.
To now?
I honestly like never really thought about it until when I was 16 and I tore my ACL and I'd never done a lick of strength training. Like the only exercise I had ever done was like netball. Yeah. You wouldn't catch me running like recreationally. I literally only played netball and that was the only thing I did. And then I tore my ACL and I was like having an identity crisis because it was literally all I did. But then we went into a lockdown, so no one was playing netball anyway.
True.
Yeah, so we went to a lockdown.
I didn't think about those timelines lining up like that.
Yeah, I didn't even have FOMO. Like I was going into year 11 at the time because year 11 was in like the big first lockdown. Yeah. And the only thing I did was do my schoolwork from home and then go to physio because I couldn't get surgery on my knee because...
But you're allowed to go to physio.
I was allowed to go to physio, but they weren't doing elective surgery. So then the physio was like, we can either wait or you can just start doing rehab now, which either way I would have. Yep. But like you can start just doing stuff anyway and just see how you go. And then I was like, sick, I'm going to do this for 12 months and then I'm never going to strength train ever again. I'm just...
This is me. This is me now. And I'm out.
I was like, all right, once I'm done, then I'll go back to netball and life will be so much fun and normal.
How'd that work out for you?
Not good. And then I got cleared to play without my ACL. Well, obviously I have an ACL, but it's not doing its thing.
So unintentional, non-operational ACL rehab.
We kind of thought that we'd come out of lockdown a bit earlier and I'd end up getting the surgery. But then we didn't. And then 10 months on, my legs were symmetrical or however close she wanted them to be at the time. Yep. And then I played netball for a little bit, but I didn't stop strength training because the physio said if you want to keep playing, you have to keep strength training. And I was like, yeah, real. Okay, fine. But to be fair, in lockdown, other than like go to physio and do exercise, all I did was schoolwork. So then I kind of realized that I liked strength training, even though I was just doing stuff from home.
Yeah.
And then once I started running, I was like, oh, actually, this is kind of fun. And I felt better and I felt more confident. Like when I was like in like year 7, 8, 9, like I had really bad confidence issues. So then like coming into that and being like, obviously it got a bit better with netball, but then once I started strength training and like running, I've definitely felt a lot more confident. And then I was like kind of in year 11, 12, like, do I want to do something related to sport?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be a sport teacher. I feel like this is the conversation that everyone who likes sport has. They're like, what do? I don't want to be a teacher.
It's actually funny, like sidebar, Jackie said that exact, not for the sports teacher, but she said that exact same sentence when I did her podcast. It was like, I think this is the conversation everyone that likes sport has with themselves.
Yeah.
Which is right, because like, you know, most people in this industry are in it because they like sport. It's a starting point. It's the entry level.
Yes. And I was like, what do? And I was like, maybe I'll do physio. Like I've been to the physio, but it was kind of like, I wasn't sure. There was just something off about it. I was like, I don't know what I wouldn't like, but I hadn't seen enough of it. Sorry?
Physios are weird.
Physios are so strange. There's like a physio that works in the office downstairs.
Sounds strange.
He's so strange. But yeah, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try physio. And then in year 12, I like tried really hard in VCE, but I didn't cop the ATAR. I think it was like a 93. And I was like, oh, what do I do now? And so then I applied for a Bachelor of Science at Monash.
Oh, did ya?
I actually did, because sports science like wasn't on the table for me at the time, even though I was interested, because I didn't have a license and I didn't know how I'd get to Deakin. And the other courses were just like, I don't know, like they were either in the city.
Yeah.
So like I was kind of...
So you could have got there public transport. There you go.
Yeah. So I was like, what do I do? So I went for science, and then as I was enrolling, I was looking at the units that were available to me, and I was like, I'm going to be so bored and I'm going to hate it. So I got rid of it. And then I booked my driver's test like a week later after that. And I was like, actually, I could probably get my license. So I had 3 weeks at Deakin without a license, and the public transport might have been like the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, that's a good 4 hours a day that you're not going to get back.
It was actually horrific, and like, yeah, it was so bad. But
look at you problem solving. I don't have a license. I'll just go get one.
I'll just go get it. So then, so then I started it.
What was it about those subjects that you're like, it's not for me?
It was, so I went into it, I was looking at the course map for it before I applied for it, and there was heaps of physiology units, and that's what I wanted to do, but none of them were available to me for some reason. Like, they were first year ones, they had no prereqs, but they were available in really weird locations.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, all of the ones I had to do were like chemistry, which I did chem in year 12 for some reason. No, I did it as a physio prereq and I didn't get it, but I did chemistry, and like, I wouldn't say I was awful at it, but I wasn't really interested in it. Yeah. So I was like, I just don't think I'm going to enjoy it at all. And also, what is my Bachelor of Science going to get me? Yeah. And then it kind of became into, what's my Bachelor of Exercise Science going to get me anyway?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. I was like, you're not really ironing out what you want to do by doing exercise science degree.
This is what my Bachelor of Exercise Science
there you go. This is what I got you.
And then I did an EP placement for my 80-hour placement. I had an EP clinic in Lach. Yeah. And I'm not going to say that I really did much on that placement. I was like super not confident at all. Yeah. But I like really enjoyed watching the EPs. I think I had two like supervisors, and I really liked what they did, and I liked watching them do that.
And then you're like, EP? I
was like, fine, whatever. And then I was like kind of tossing between them, because I was like, am I going for EP because I'm giving up on physio because it was too hard? Yeah. Or am I doing it because I actually want to do it? So I was like stuck, like, am I justifying it to myself? Like, do I actually want to do it? So then I sat on it for a bit, and then I decided I did want to do EP. Sick.
And now how far are you into your Masters?
2 days.
Yes. Yeah. So for those who don't know, Dak's just started a Masters.
It's true.
EP, good. Yeah. Well, I've still done more of it than you, so whatever.
But I will do more of it than you. That's all that matters.
If you quit, I'll murder you.
I actually can't. I won't. Actually, I really enjoyed my first 2 days.
Yeah, good.
It was actually really tiring, like mentally, and like the content took me a bit longer than I thought, because I did not understand it.
What did you learn about?
The first lot of content I did was for cardiopulmonary disease, and it was like the laws of the heart. Hey, wake up.
Sorry, what?
I was reading it and I was like so intimidated when I saw it, and also so much more content than my bachelor had, and I know people warned me of that.
Yeah.
I never believe it when people warn me. It's the same when I got my surgery for this knee, and like Jackson Alcock and Lola like told me, they were like, it's gonna really
Miss Lola.
hurt. I know, it says so much. They were like, it's gonna really hurt, and I was like,
Please.
oh, it's not gonna hurt. So it's like same thing. I thought it'd be fine, and then I was so intimidated about it, and so I spent a lot of time going through it. And at the end, I felt really accomplished because I actually understood it, but it took me so much time to get to that point. So, but then once we were in the class, it made it so much easier because I felt like I knew what he was talking about when he was describing things. It was fun.
I like it.
And then the next day, I did Musk.
Yeah, good. That's easy stuff.
I know, we did like a subjective like consultation, which felt like I was doing a free intro.
You're like, I do this all the time. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Sweet. So you're pretty dialed in, like EP is what you want to do, what you want to be. That's cool. How have you gone with that, like maybe ambiguity around knowing that or working through that process over the last few years?
What do you mean? Like through the process of deciding to get there?
Yeah. Because you kind of like, not fell into exercise science, but you kind of did it because it seemed like the right path.
Yeah.
Without
like
a clear like outcome to do.
Yeah. I was like, I kind of knew I'd do a master's in something either way. Well, to be fair, didn't know I was going to get this job. Thank you, by the way.
Welcome.
And like, I actually, when I was going through, we did like for the placement unit, when I did my internship here, they were talking about like potentially like seeing where you could get a job after. And I was like, oh, that sounds really hard. I think I'm just like not going to do it. I was like, nah, like, it'll be fine. And I realize now that if that had have happened to me, I would have been severely disadvantaged.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the fact that you can coach while you're doing all of your not all of your must stuff, but all of your EP stuff over the next few years. Yeah. Massive.
I think that's making me feel better about doing it part-time too.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. When I went the other day and everyone was like, yeah, we're full-time. I was like, oh.
Losers.
Yeah, I was like, haha, losers. They have to go in 4 days a week.
That sucks.
That would ruin me. Like, they would be there today.
Suckers. This is way more fun.
Losers. Just kidding.
Talk me about your knee. So you
true.
Did it first time when you were 16.
Yep.
Got back into it. Fell in love with strength training.
Love my life.
Got jacked.
I literally got jacked. And then I think I played like a season after I came back from my ACL, and I was really nervous to get on the court for that first game. But then once I started playing, I realised I'm jacked.
I've done all the work.
I've done everything I was supposed to do, and I felt great. So then I wasn't worried. And then first game of the next season, so I made it back. I think I got cleared in November of 2020. So I was back in time for the next season, which means I didn't miss any netball because everyone was in lockdown.
Love it.
Which was really lucky.
That's cool.
I know. And then, so I came back for a full season, and then the first game of this next season, it was like a Good Friday game, which, by the way, whoever comes up with that, no. Can we not play on Good Friday? It's stupid. Anyway.
Love that.
It's just, I want to play on Saturday. But I had gone to a concert.
What does Jesus want?
Sorry?
What does Jesus want?
I don't care. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. I do care what Jesus wants.
I don't.
I don't at all. I'm so sorry to everyone who does. And then I went to a concert the night before with a friend. I didn't even know who they were. I just went with her because she wanted someone to go with, and I was like, yeah.
Who'd you see?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
actually, might have been.
Not important. Carry on.
No, not important. And I went to netball the next morning. I was like, wow, my knee feels really tired today. I'll just take it easy. I'll take it easy. And then we warmed up, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I go up for a ball. So my first ACL, I pivoted on my land, and that's why I went down.
Yep.
But when I hurt myself this day, I got shoved. So I got pushed on a landing, and my knee fell in, and it was the exact same movement that it did when I did my ACL. But I knew it wasn't my ACL because my ACL was't attached.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
so, I fell, and I was like, something's happened to my knee.
Can't break it twice.
This is me.
Something's
happened to my knee.
Yeah.
And they were like, do you think it was your ACL? And I'm like, no, it can't have been, but it definitely something.
Yeah.
So then I got a scan, and it was a tiny little meniscus tear on my medial meniscus.
Yeah.
And I think I did rehab for like 6 to 8 weeks. I came back same season.
Right?
Yeah. And my confidence was a bit lower that season, and I didn't realize it until we got to like the semi-final, and I probably had my best game all season, and I knew it was because I felt more confident in it that day.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, it just takes a little bit of time. Anyway, then I think I played 2 seasons after that with no injury.
Which we love.
Which was excellent. And, like, I actually felt like I was getting better. I'm not a great netball player, but, like, I actually felt like I was actually getting, like, better at playing. And then at the start of last year, I was doing a lot of running. And
Athlete.
I know, I'm an athlete. It's not good because my watch keeps telling me I've been unproductive because it's comparing me to last year. But I did a lot of running, and I ended up wanting to run throughout the netball season. But after a couple rounds, I realised that was not sustainable, and I was cooking myself really bad because I knew I couldn't give up the strength training because it was, in my mind, that was the thing.
Well, it's an important load management conversation that now you're able to have with your athletes, right? Is like, hey, if you keep adding shit,
it just doesn't work.
Something's going to break.
Literally, like I was actually going to do a half marathon as well, and then I ended up not doing it and was like, I'll just strength train and then play netball. It's fine. If I want to add a run in, I can. And then I was playing netball as well. I think it was when I was an intern here. My knee felt like it dislocated, but like it felt like it was sitting out of place, and I was like, it's weird. And so I like kicked my leg and it clonked back in, and I was like, that was so weird. I'm just not going to do that again. Whatever I did to cause that, I just won't do it again. And then I want to say like a month later, I was foam rolling my left leg and using my right leg to guide it, like my quad. And it happened again. And I remember rolling over at the gym and holding it and being like, oh my God, it's not sitting. Like, it wasn't painful. I could just feel it was sitting off. So then I like jammed it straight and I went back in and I was like, done.
Strong, done, sorted.
We are fixed. And there was no pain. So I was like, I've just solved my injury. So then I was like, oh yeah, like.
If anyone at home is like having little niggles with their knee and stuff like that, like these are red flags for like if you're wondering. These are things that we would maybe go, hey, it's probably not functioning the way it should go. Carry on.
No, I think I was just so used to like having an injury that happened in a spot. Yeah. Like, you know, I landed and something happened to it. And because that didn't happen, I didn't realise that like I could have an injury from that's actually,
that's a fair point because so many people would like, oh, but, you know, I'm a hamstring sore, but I wasn't sprinting this time. Or, you know, my ankle didn't roll, but why is it really sore? Like,
literally, I didn't realise I could overuse it. And so it was just like, yeah, not a good thing. Anyway, so then I just kept ignoring it. I had so many signs that something was wrong with it. And I just was so oblivious at the time. Like I went tree surfing and I was like, wow, my right legs feel so unstable right now. And I just like was like, oh, it's because I don't have an ACL.
In hindsight, you're like, oh, these are all the times where
literally. And I think I went to a myo because my right quad was significantly tighter than my left. Like she touched my right quad and I felt like crying. It was so tight. And I didn't pick that up as maybe it's compensating for something or something. Like, why is it so much worse than my other leg? Anyway, it probably locked about 4 times over like a 14-week period. And I was still playing netball every week and it never happened to netball. If I was warmed up, I felt strong. It didn't even feel unstable. I felt good every single week.
Yeah, we know the answer now, don't we?
Something's wrong with it. I felt really good on court too. Like probably the best season I've had. Like there was like, I was like, oh, I'm fine playing netball, so it must be okay. Yeah. And then one game, I think it was round 14, I landed when I caught the ball and it didn't lock, but it clicked. Yeah. So I called injury time, which now I'm responsible. I'm like, and then I came off the court, sat down for a bit. I was like, actually, it's fine. I'm just going to see if I can get back on the court. So I warmed up a bit, and as I was changing direction, I was like, oh, not good. So, but I ended up, like, my coach ended up putting me back on. I as soon as I started running, I knew there was something wrong with it. And I was like, sub me off, because we have rolling subs now. I was like, sub me off. And he was like, oh, give me 1 second to change position. I'm like, sub me off. Get me. Anyway, I did one jump, and I landed on my left leg because I knew my right wasn't going to hold me. So then went to see a physio that I was seeing back then, and she was like, can you describe it to me? I was like, it clicks, because I didn't realise it was locking at the time. And then I was like, you can try and do it if you want. Like, give it a little move. She moved it, it locked. I was like, it's doing it, that's it. And she's like, that's not good, sweetie.
Did she actually call you sweetie?
No.
No.
And she's like, you need to get a scan.
Yep.
So she sent me to my GP to get a scan. Can physios give scans?
Physios can refer you to
She can refer me.
She can write a referral to a scan, but if you go GP, it can be bulk billed.
Yeah, okay.
But they'll fuck you around because they'll go, oh, we'll do an X-ray first, and I'm like, oh, the X-ray didn't show much, so let's do an ultrasound,
Yeah,
and then it takes steps to get to your MRI. So sometimes it's easier just.
Yeah, because she didn't send me for a scan, but thinking back, she probably wanted it to be cheaper for me. Yeah. She sent me to the GP instead.
But usually then there's this whole process.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier. And if you're playing local sport and registered to a club, you'll be able to claim it through sport insurance. Yeah. So if you're playing at home or know someone that's injured, there's a process where you get all your cash back, or at least a lot of it. So do that.
It's actually lovely. You should do it. And then I went to the GP and she was like, Queen, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I've seen this doctor before and I really liked her. Don't know where she is now. She's not at the same clinic. But she was like, if you keep strength training and stuff, your muscles will compensate. And I'm like, I've already had this conversation when I did my ACL. Like, I already know. I was like, please give me the scan. And she's like, that's normal when you've played so much like hard sport on your knees. I'm like, show me your knee lock right now because mine's never done this before. Yeah. And I don't feel... Anyway, she spent probably the whole appointment justifying to me that if I keep strength training, I'll be fine, as if I wasn't already. So then I went home that night and I said...
Love a doctor pumping strength training though, but just give me the fucking scan.
And she was actually a really good doctor, which is why I went to her. But I sent my friend a video that night and I was like, it's going to be fine. Like, my knee's all good. Because I was like trying to like believe what she had told me.
How'd that work out for you? Not
good. I came in the next day to coach. The timeline's really important here. Wednesday, I saw the doctor. Yep. Thursday, I came into coach and went, no, there's something wrong. I've been trying to justify it to myself, but my knee's not okay. And then I spoke to Greg and I was like, do you have time next week to see me at all? And he was like, yeah, I'm free on Tuesday. And I was like, done. Put me in. And then I was like, he'll listen to me. And then Friday, the next day, I came in for 1 hour while you did an onboard. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing an onboard. So I came in for the last hour, 10 to 11. And it was super quiet and I was sitting on the floor with Zev, playing with him on the turf. And then I went to stand up and as I stood up, my knee locked and I was like, guys, don't even worry. This happens all the time. I can get it back in. And then I was like straightening out. I was like, guys, it won't go back in. And then... that's when the pain started coming because it was never painful. But once it was stuck like that for like a minute, I was like, oh my God, it hurt so bad.
She was stressed too.
I don't think I've ever been so stressed in my life. And then you're taking it on board. I'm crying. Jess,
I'm like, I'm sorry. She's only like this like twice a week.
Jess is on the road. She's like, do you need anything? I'm like, no, I just need my knee to go back in its spot. I'm like so upset. You're like, let me finish sunboard. I'll take you to the hospital. And I was like, but I grilled. We had grilled that day. Do you remember?
Did we?
Yeah, we had a meeting and we had grilled and I refused to go to the hospital without eating the grill first. So I hopped up the stairs and I cried. We were having a meeting and I was crying eating my grilled.
Drama.
I know. And then you took me to the hospital. That doctor, do you remember him?
Ruined my day that. No, it didn't.
You know what?
The doctor, because like... obviously, I knew the history, so we were like, need an MRI. And he's like, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be okay. I was like, it's probably a bucket handle tear.
And he told me not to listen to you. He looked at me, he said, see him, don't listen to him. And I was like, hey, don't tell me to not listen to you.
After I said that's what it could be, what was it?
He said...
but what was it? What was the problem?
He said it was just swelling, but it was that.
Fluid. He's like, yeah, it's just because there's fluid in there. I was like, why is there fluid in there?
Literally, I was like, where did it come from? Where did it come from? Why is it there? And then it literally was because you and Greg was like, yeah. Greg was like, bucket handle tear. You were like, bucket handle tear. Doctor was like, well, your bones are in line. I was like, has nothing to do with it. I know my bones are in line, but I think it's because I was saying it feels like it's out of place.
Yeah.
So those words were making him be like, she thinks it's dislocated or something. Shows me the x-ray and I'm like, okay, like whatever. And then...
I get that we're adding a burden to the public health system by getting scans, but isn't it helpful just to know what's going on?
And I get like we don't want to like overscan, but I understand, but I'm hysterical at this point. And like you're telling me there's just swelling.
I had some quiet time to read my book in the hospital. That was nice.
That's true, and you also were just texting Greg through my phone.
It was pretty fun.
It's like you're like, give me the phone, and then you'd say something. Greg would be like, say something. You're like, give me the phone, and then you'd respond. I'm like, okay. Anyway, so then all of that happened. Spoke to Greg. Greg gave me a scan referral.
Yeah.
Went for the scan. the radiographer, is that what is it?
Radiologist.
Radiologist, I was going to say, I'm like throwing random words out, was like, girl, he didn't say girl, but he did. He said, girl, it's very swollen. I think there's something very wrong. I don't know if he's supposed to say that to me beforehand, but he was a king. And then got the scan back, bucket handle tear.
Yeah.
Obviously, it said there was no ACL. Actually, I think it said that there might have been like an attachment, but it wasn't really there. And so then I went on the public wait list for surgery, got surgery, and now she's fixed. And now
Sorted.
I'm 6 months post-op.
6 months post-op. What's that rehab process been like? Actually, what's the lesson from all of that?
Don't play back-to-back netball seasons. How come I was ending a netball season and then playing a spring comp straight away?
Silly.
Seriously. Listen to your body.
Listen to your body. That's the lesson.
Yeah, that's the biggest lesson.
That's the lesson. If something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right.
Yeah. And, yeah.
It helps to know things.
Yeah.
Then you can make informed dumb decisions rather than uninformed dumb decisions.
Yeah, so if your knee feels like it's locking, there's something wrong with it, and you should not disregard it just because you've played 14 games of netball and you've been getting better, okay?
Oh, shit. So you got the surgery, obviously did a little bit of prehab with the fizzle. What was that 6 months? What's the last 6 months been like relative to your first non-operative rehab?
Yeah. It's definitely been so much harder, like mentally and physically. Obviously, when I did it without the surgery, I was walking. Like, there was no period where I wasn't able to walk.
Yeah.
So I was walking the whole time. I was basically getting strong, like, from the start, but then I got a quad tendon graft. And my quad was just, it was so annoyed. Not annoyed. You're doing a good job, quad. I'm just going to let you know, you're doing a really good job. But, like, really weak and, like, scared to do anything. Like, trying to get quad activation in the first couple of weeks. I didn't even bother. I was in so much pain for the first 2. I was in the middle of a uni trimester. And I, like, was literally bedbound.
You had a whole month off work. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but to be fair, 4 weeks isn't that bad.
Longest 4 weeks of my life.
Yeah, I know. Same. So I remember having so much FOMO. Anyway. I was like, oh, I want to go back to work. It was really painful, and the endone made me so sick to the point, like, it was just like I'd eat something and then I'd be asleep for ages. So, like, you'd see, like, people doing, like, all their quad activation, their exercises, and I did nothing for the first week because I physically could not make myself do it. So then, second week, I started doing it, and then all of a sudden I was able to take a step, and I was like, wait,
Progress.
I'm an athlete. So then started walking, and then from there it started getting a bit better, but not being able to walk around myself was definitely the worst part of it. And, like, I was able to drive at one point, but I was still on crutches because I could walk, but I couldn't really go very far.
Yeah. And
I went out for dinner with my friends once, and as I was walking back to the car on my own, I realised that not that someone's going to come and chase after me and try and kidnap me, but if they did, I wouldn't be able to run away because I was on crutches, and that was jarring. This is me driving home on the way home. Because I was, like, so incapable of defending myself. I was like, this is awful. Anyway, and then once I was able to come back to work, and then I was able to walk and kind of start strength training, even though it was, like, very repetitive at the start and I was a bit bored with it, I kind of felt like everything kind of went back to normal because no one was playing netball. I hurt.
Yep.
I got the surgery in the last game of the season, so no one was playing.
So it's not like you're missing.
Yeah.
Anything.
Now it feels like I'm kind of missing out on things, but that's okay. But it's been good. I feel like I've progressed quite well physically, but, like, mentally, I still feel like I'm not quite pushing through. I'm just like, sometimes I just walk and I'm like, what if my knee just locked right now?
Yeah, we know, but, like, it's the psychological readiness will come with proof that you're okay.
It's true. My running's actually been a lot better. I used to, like, every time I run, I'd be like, what if my knee just gave way right now? And then I've ruined the repair that he did. Because the surgeon did say to me that, like, he stitched it together, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of blood flow, so actually might not heal. He said it might just be the stitches holding together, and one day it might just fail, and then we'll scrape it out and call it a day. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'd like to keep that bit of cartilage. Yeah. I should have thought about that beforehand, but yeah. Anyway.
Because they fixed the meniscus and the ACL.
Yeah, they did the quad tendon graft for my ACL, and then they repaired the meniscus, but they didn't know if they'd be able to.
But they did, yay.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I found out, like, 6 weeks after the surgery is that I have, like, tiny little fissures in my lateral meniscus too.
Oh, I love that.
I know, I'm like, please leave me alone.
What's your experience through rehab taught you, and how's it informed your coaching?
you've just got to do it. Like some days I'm like, oh, I really can't be bothered today. Or it might be like a harder session or something like that. But I know that if I don't do it, I'm just pushing myself behind.
Yeah.
So it's just do it. Unless obviously I'm sick or I'm cooked.
Where? Yeah, good. Love it. Now, we've talked a lot about coaching, a lot about sport. Talk to me about Dakota outside of those things.
Well, that's wholesome.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you cared.
I don't, but people do apparently.
People do apparently. I feel like there wasn't really much. Me trying to think about how I'm going to say this. I feel like only recently have I realised what my life is like without sport and without exercise and without things in that realm.
Yeah.
And I think not being able to do it and realising that all of my hobbies were like movement based was like not bad, but like if I had free time then I wasn't resting.
Yeah.
Like I was always moving. And so then I think I started reading like 2 years ago. And that was my effort in making a hobby that wasn't movement based.
That's cool. It's cool to be able to be aware of that and go, I need something that's not stressing my body.
Yeah.
What can I do? And you go, I'm going to pick this thing up, try it, and now you read pretty regularly, right?
To be fair, shout out to that EP clinic that I did my placement at. I definitely wasn't a great student there, so sorry about that. But I'm better now, I promise. Sorry about that. I wasn't bad. I was just super intimidated and like couldn't really do much. So I was like, But one of the supervisors there, she was like one day, like I was doing like a task that I was given and she was doing like a client notes or like a letter to a GP or something like that. And she looked at me and she's like, do you read? And I was like, oh, I've read before, but like, not really. I'm just like too busy for it. Just everyone's excuse for not reading.
Yeah. Too busy scrolling the talk.
Yeah, I'm just well, it was Musically back then. Just kidding. I don't think it was. I think it was.
It was what?
Musically?
What the fuck's that?
The fact that you don't know what that is so funny. I'm gonna have to
is it like MySpace?
It's I don't know what that is. She's like, do you read? I was like, no, I don't read. And then she's like, well, if you think about reading, like you should read this book. And she showed me this book and I was like, what's it about? And she told me what it was about and I was like, cringe. I didn't tell her that. But I was like, cringe, I'm not reading that. And then probably like 4 months later is when I had this realization that I needed to find something to do that wasn't that. And so I was like, fine, I'll try the book. And unfortunately it was brilliant. So she was right. Yeah, so then I kept reading the series and then went on to other things. So now I like to read.
Amazing.
And then other than that, it's literally uni here. Those are good things. Training, and then also my family and my friends. Just like social life, sort of.
Love it. Good.
What else is there to me?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm trying to think.
There's lots of things. There's lots of layers that I reckon most of the Virtus fam wouldn't know or wouldn't be aware of.
Yeah, probably. But can't really think of any. Literally, like, especially because right now I'm at uni again.
It's all
I can think about is like, go to uni, go to work, train, eat food, go to sleep.
Which I think is like, isn't the worst headspace to be in, right? To be like, what do I need to do next to help build the capacity for later? Yeah. Yeah. Here's a question for you. What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? Wow. I think that I am actually proud of a lot of things, but I'm not going to list them all.
No, I want to hear them.
I can't think of them all right now, sir. Sorry for calling you sir 2 seconds ago.
Jarring.
Jarring. Great word. Great use of jarring. I think I'm proud of my resilience.
Go on.
I feel like I just told you that at this EP placement I was horrifically nervous and like shy and stuff. And then I remember requesting my placement here for my second one, which by the way, you were really bad at answering my emails during that time.
Yeah, that's why I hired you, so you could do it for me. You don't have to do it.
But I like did that, and I was like, this placement, I'm not going to be a little. Can I swear?
Yeah.
A little bitch.
Wow, rude.
I know. I was like, I'm not going to be a little bitch this time. I think I was kind of still a little bitch at some points.
You're fine.
Thanks. That's really.
I'm going to find those. I find those initial emails. My name's Dakota. Can I come hang out?
So real, bro. Can I come hang out with me? And then what were we talking about?
You're proud of yourself. Resilience.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty good at like getting up when I've been shoved down.
Yeah.
But it depends. And also sometimes it takes varying lengths of time. Sometimes it
That's
takes
life,
me longer
mate.
longer to figure it out. But that's like home life and also here.
Yeah.
And also uni. But uni kind of became a thing that I was so familiar with it that it kind of became easy. And that's why I got kind of intimidated going into this master's. So I was like, I actually don't know what to expect now.
Yeah.
I just don't like not knowing what's going to happen.
That's exciting. It's exciting not knowing what's going to happen.
I don't know if you just heard me. It's not.
No, I heard you. Yeah.
Yeah. What else am I proud of?
Yeah, go on. We want more. Because you celebrate everyone else's wins in here, so we want
That's true.
We want you to.
I do struggle to celebrate my own wins.
I know.
I'm a bit of a hypocrite, aren't I?
A little bit.
I'm like, guys, what's your also
growth area.
literally? I'm like, here's a pump up for someone else. I'm like, not going to share what I did this week.
Yeah.
Did I share that I graduated?
Yeah, I think so.
Did I? I think I sent that photo of me and Renee.
I put a picture up of you.
Where I was like this.
Yeah.
And then what else did I do recently that I was going to message this week.
Yeah,
I started my master's and I was like, no.
You should have. Why wouldn't you?
Because I was so proud of Geordie for his.
You can have both.
I know, but I was like, no one cares.
No, everyone
but
cares.
they do. I'm just
They do.
being a bit dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm proud for starting my masters. That's what I'm proud of. I'm
Very good.
proud for doing all the shit that I need to do for my knee.
Yeah.
And
Because it's easy to not do it and then just live your life without
yeah,
a functioning.
especially when I was like at the start, I was like, do I go back to netball?
Mm,
Do I not? And obviously, I would have done everything I'm supposed to do if I wasn't going to go back to netball.
maybe.
But it's like less. There's like less motivation behind it.
It's nice to have that carrot.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. So proud of what I've done for my knee. I'm proud of myself for getting better with my own time management and like making time to read, to do things that I want to do. Like
Mate, you're like turning into an adult.
It's honestly like not it. Like I have to replace my tires this week. Like actually, it's a nightmare. Grant told me.
You're adult better than most people adult.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good, but just yeah. Like Grant told me to go see someone about my tires weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, all right, I will.
Didn't I tell you to go talk to Grant about tyres?
Yeah, and then I was like, why would I do that? And then I spoke to Grant, and I was like, oh,
Makes sense. Yeah.
that's actually very helpful.
Yeah.
And
Because
then
he's very tiring.
I actually called him the other day, and he didn't answer. I wonder if he
Rude.
knew it was me. But then the other day, someone almost crashed into my car. Jarring.
Yeah.
Had to
Little
call
bit.
someone to debrief, actually. It was so close. She was like flying around this U-turn and didn't see me and like almost hit the front of my car. And I screamed and like slammed the brakes. My car did skid.
Trauma.
Yeah, traumatizing, but my car did
But
skid.
everything's okay.
And yeah, I know, but then that made me realise, should my car have skidded just then?
Maybe. New fresh tyres will fix
Yeah,
that.
so that's a Friday job. Mark my words. But also, that lady just sped off on me. I'm just a little girl.
Drive safe, friends.
Look
Drive
at
safe.
me. I'm just a little girl. I'm scared of everyone on
No,
the
you're
road.
an adult now.
It's true. Do you actually think I adult kind of good?
Yeah.
Thanks, that's nice. I think you adult kind of good.
Thanks. Have to. KP keeps me on track.
Good. What would you do without it?
Fucking struggle.
She's iconic.
Yeah. Get around her.
Yeah, get around KP. Big fan. What were we talking about? Oh, what am
Proud
I
of
proud
yourself.
of?
Yeah.
What
Give me
else?
one more thing.
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to think of one more thing. I'm proud of myself for my own personality. Actually,
I'm a
for real
vibe.
though. I'm like the best. Nah, sometimes I'm like, was I talking too much then? I reckon it does happen sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I
a
think
good
this. I've had this conversation with Jackie. I think you just hire the same people in different fonts. Genuinely.
Same people in different fonts. That's great. Now, you guys are also different.
Yeah, no, definitely very different.
Like, there's an intentionality. Like I said before, hive personality, but there's intentionality around the fact that all of you are very different.
yeah,
Like, we just get clones of me, we'll fucking go mad.
Yeah.
Couldn't deal with that. Yeah, which we
real.
love.
Jackie's my idol. How do we get back onto Jackie? I just can't help but talk about it.
Second follow-up question to the what are you
Oh.
proud of? Actually, quickly, you mentioned that you're a little bitch for your first internship, and then here you sorted your shit out enough for me to give you a job.
Yeah, I think I sorted my shit out.
Like,
Full stop. But
How does that impact how you talk to and look after and help lead the interns?
Yeah, but I think that sometimes it can be a bit detrimental. Like, sometimes I think I might be a bit too easy. Like, not too easy, but like, be like, I'm just gonna let that one go. But even I wouldn't have done that on my first
Yeah.
one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you've got your level now, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely much better now. It's just like having a bunch of little friends that come to hang out with me on my shift.
Pretty much.
It's like a bit wholesome.
Good humans.
Yeah.
Good humans all learning
Does
stuff.
that answer your question, or did I?
It did.
Take a lot of intermissions.
What are you excited for? No, that's the whole
excited
point. We can follow whatever thread you want, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
People are zoning out. They can go do something else.
Is there like a video along with this, or is it just listen?
Video along with it.
It's like,
Yeah, we'll put on. It'll be on YouTube and Spotify.
oh, on YouTube.
Yeah, but if I'm telling people that, they already know it probably.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, what am I most excited for?
Yeah.
What are you most excited for? You have to answer it first before I answer it.
What am I most excited for? Excited to go to Lucy's teddy bear picnic this afternoon.
I heard about that.
Yeah, Billy would have told you.
Yep, she's making fairy bread. I've been invited.
Amazing. Are you coming?
She said, "Are you coaching tonight?" And I was like, I was like, "Yeah, I actually."
Those two genuinely just like have you on like a piece of string. You're like, they're
I
like,
know. I'm wrapped around their finger.
yeah.
They say something, I'm like, all right. Like when I went to Billy's swimming lesson.
Yeah. You come to my swimming? You're like, all right, I got nothing else to do.
I guess.
I'm like, dude, you don't have to come. She's like, well, I've told Billy I would,
I've
so I
said
do.
that I would.
Which we love.
I can't say I'm going to do
There's a
something.
3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm trying to be excited for the things that are like here and now.
Yeah.
And presence. Yeah.
That's so exciting. Oh, that's another thing. Billy said, what if someone else comes and coaches for you?
She knows how it works.
Yeah. So, love that. I'm excited to get super brainy from this course.
Good.
And not that I'm not already, like, probably, I'd say, like, top 3 brainiest people in the world.
In the world? Yeah, that's fair. Checks out.
Yeah, I'm excited to be brainy, and I'm excited to use the stuff I learn here there.
That's the best part of coaching while you're studying is you just, like, trial things, see how it works.
Yeah.
See how it comes. Yeah, I like that.
It's
good. All right, to finish off, Greg's question. Did you see it?
I did.
All right.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks. All expenses paid, vacation. No cost is too high. Whatever it costs. Doesn't matter. You go solo. Can't bring any money home. You can't buy any assets. You can buy experiences throughout your 2 weeks of vacation time. Where do you go? What do you do?
Okay. Here's the thing. Just throw the phone. I'm not the kind of person who would go on a holiday and wants to do something like every single day.
Read your book on a beach?
And I know that I have all this money, and in my mind I'm like, I should make the most of that. But then I wouldn't really enjoy the holiday. And I also don't know where I'd go.
I think there's value there on knowing who you are and what you want and what's important to you.
Yeah. I definitely want to do some things. What? I don't know, there's too many options.
2 weeks.
This is giving me when I program. What do I give? There's so many options. Yeah. 2 weeks, like where could I go? Somewhere warm.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Go sit on a beach somewhere. Go like far north of Queensland.
Yeah.
Enjoy the hurricane.
Well, if I've got all this money, I might as well go international. But yeah,
sure.
North
Yeah.
Queensland.
That's fair. Oh, for those playing at home, think about it. It's a good question. I like it.
Yeah. Where would I go? I don't know. Just somewhere warm, and I wouldn't want to do that much. Which, sorry, Greg, this is an anticlimactic answer to your question, but I'm not going to do that much. Like when we went to Thailand, like when Justin and I went to Thailand with his family, I think we did like 2 tours, and they were so fun. And then for the rest of it, I was like, all right, it's time to
Feet
rest.
up and book.
I'm really tired now. So I don't really know.
It's all right. You don't need to know.
I'd like to go somewhere in Europe, but it looks really busy.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. What about you?
Ooh, 2 weeks. That's a great question. I would love to go back to Vietnam and I'd love to do a motorbike top to bottom or bottom to top. That'd be pretty fun. It'd be cool to do with KP. And maybe go back to Japan. There are a lot of places I'd want to go back to.
Yeah.
Back to Japan. Maybe KP and I still need to go on a honeymoon, but maybe like a 2-week 2-week cruise, like not like a big cruise ship cruise.
Yeah.
But like a cool like little boat cruise around Japan. 2 weeks. That'd be what I do.
That's wholesome. That's a good answer. My stomach's rumbling.
Before we finish up, anything you'd like to say to the people? Anything to add?
No. Love you guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Phenomenal. Be amazing. Love your work.
Bye.
No, I didn't change it.
Have a good day.